Purchasing a physical game is something that I've done my entire life. Growing up in the late 90s and early 2000s, I remember buying everything from cartridges to CDs to DVDs containing ISOs of games. It's something that I've done throughout my childhood into adulthood, and it's something that I love doing. It's a great pastime for me, purchasing a new game and popping it into my console of choice to experience what it has to offer. Unfortunately, as of recently, it seems the days of physical media in terms of gaming seem to be dwindling. But what happened to them? Well, a lot of people point to things like Steam, the PlayStation Store, and the Xbox Live Arcade. I feel that it's just because Americans don't like going out when they don't need to anymore. If you honestly had the option of ordering a pizza, staying home, and downloading the new Call of Duty, wouldn't you rather do that instead of running out to GameStop and buying it, or having to go all the way to a Best Buy or a Circuit City to get a copy? A lot of things have been streamlined in this recent day of technology, and downloading games just seems to be the easier approach for a lot of people. Of course, companies love it too, because not having to deal with publishing rights is fantastic. A lot of indie companies wouldn't exist at all if digital media hadn't been a thing. If you couldn't download any game you wanted off Steam, a lot of indie companies wouldn't have gotten their games published at all, because publishing is really hard to come by. You get rejected a lot, and it's also maddeningly expensive. I'm not saying that digitally downloading games is a bad thing. Far from it. I think it's a fantastic idea, and it's being executed wonderfully. However, I'm going to miss the days of physical media, because I'm sure that eventually it'll be phased out. You remember all hearing the rumors about how the NX, which is now the Nintendo Switch, didn't have a disc drive, and a lot of people were assuming that the game wasn't going to take any sort of physical media whatsoever. It was just going to be downloadable. Thankfully, Switch games are still buyable in the form of cartridges. However, a lot of people thought that the Switch was going to be the first of the disc drive-less consoles, which it sort of is. Will the PlayStation 5 or Xbox 2 have a disc drive? Probably not. I don't see them having one just because technology companies don't like shelling out money that they don't need to spend. And if Sony and Microsoft can save money by not publishing on discs, yeah, I could see them switching to all media games and not having to deal with physical copies at all. So yeah, it's definitely going to happen. However, the question is when. And that's a very good question. I honestly don't know. I think it could happen as soon as the next generation, or perhaps as late as 10 years from now. Which, who knows, maybe the next generation will be 10 years from now, or maybe there won't be any more generations after this, and things like the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X will just be sort of integration of half console generations. Maybe you'll get an Xbox One X2 or a PS4 Pro 2, and you'll be able to upgrade the technology sort of intermittently, like a PC, how you can install a new graphics card and play games forever on it. I certainly don't want this to happen, however, it unfortunately might, and with this coming generation might be a generation without a disc drive, which means we unfortunately might be stuck with digital-only games soon, which would suck for people without internet connections, but let's be real here, everyone has an internet connection in this day and age. For me, it would suck more because I like having something on my shelf. I like being able to buy something from the store and being able to display it as something that I bought and cherished, unless it's a game like Sonic 06 or Skate 3. And while you can definitely show off your Steam library for all of your friends, it's not the same as showing off a shelf full of video games like I have in the basement. This looks a lot better than this, let's be real. However, maybe I'm missing something, and there's just an advantage that I don't see, and that's why I'm leaving the comments open for you guys to discuss. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on a fully digital future. When do you think it'll happen? Do you think it'll be soon? And what are your thoughts? Please leave your answers in the comments down below. This has been DanRock. Peace out, take care, and I'm so sorry for the shitty mic. My good one is currently being fixed, and I couldn't be bothered to find a better one, so I'm using my shitty-ass Turtle Beach. Bye.